Yo, it's been a while. It's been a while. um, Not sure if Saturday is a great day to stream. Oh well, but it's going to be just a short stream anyway. Hey, peace and thanks. I thought I was all alone. How's it going? It's going great. It's actually going great. How are you doing? I hope you can hear me. I hope the audio is all well. Not sure if the PS4 limit allowed. Nope. Wait, you can't hear that? Okay, that's stupid. Like, oh, you can hear. You can. Okay, that's good. It will be silly, like if you say, "Can you hear me?" Like, no, but how did you know that I would say that? Like, man, it's a long time. I hope you. It's not going well. Is that what you say nope for? It's not going so good with you. Yeah. Is it something you want to talk about, or you don't have to, of course, but. Let me see. It's really been a while I've been streaming dreams. I can't remember what note was, but I'm doing good. Oh, okay. That is all good. Like I was like, yeah, if you want to talk, I mean, I'm all ears. We have 10 notifications. I see. Probably shared creations. Creation got in the list. Okay. Oh wow, someone well, people liking old stuff for some reason. That's 1 year old content. Okay. Let's see what's in the pics. Ooh. Oh, this one. I've seen this one from Bad Robo. Just gonna check real quick. I've been really getting good on working on dreams projects, so I want to work on some of my harder projects. Okay, that sounds good. Like, do you want to share what you want to, what stuff, but like stuff I mentioned in my DreamsCon 21 bit? Now I need to revisit that. Like my brain is like, if I remember. I have seen all the boots, but I don't think I can remember all the projects from everyone. I mean, there were a lot. There were really a lot. I need to revisit if I want to know what you were up to. Yeah, this one is lovely. I already seen this on Twitter though. It's of course it's lovely. And the other one, what was the other one? Flowers. Oh, okay, that was, of course. I saw this one on the stream yesterday. Meet the Monarchy. Was it yesterday? Or was that earlier this week? I don't know. There wasn't any specific in the boot, just general this. Oh, okay. Yeah, also lovely. This is something that I still wanna like tackle myself, is foliage in dreams. Like, I'm not really that great at making like flowers and plants and stuff like that. I can do it, but I know it takes so much time to get a decent looking. Because like you don't want to like do it in flex because yeah. Yeah, I've seen this on stream. Of course, it's lovely. It's Martin. Oh. Yeah, this is great. Let's see what he did. I think he combined a little bit with things. He also did like flex, I see. So he did combined between hard sculpt and flex. Yeah, this is something that I still want to tackle. Thumbs up for sure. All right, so that were the picks. Now let's get us some sculpting ourselves. For instance, I want to do the Western shooter. Oh, cool. Like first person or like third person view? Yeah, anything by Martin is amazing. Yeah, like there's like I can't remember any creation that he made like that's not like great. Like all his creations are great. I've been experimenting with ideas while I was completing my imp quest. Okay, first person Western shooter. I'm so glad that like my chat list like I don't know I'm not sure if it's like on Twitch side or on my new computer, but I really like how like the chat is so like it's responding so quickly after I say something. So that's really cool. Western shooter, that's really cool. First person, that's really cool. I'm not really that great with first person shooters. It's been a while I've played shooters. But hey, if you're making one, and if you have finished a project, you can always let me know. Always gladly to play that. Okay. To be honest, I had not really like I this was just like a very like a spontaneous stream. So I don't really have like what kind of asset I'm going to make today. But I was thinking maybe to make a um what can we make? I don't know. I need to get some inspirations. Yeah, it won't be a Call of Duty type of shooter. So I'm putting my own spin on. Okay, that's good. Yeah, don't do a Call of Duty. I mean, man, the last Call of Duty was like Modern Warfare, the first one. That's the last Call of Duty I've ever played, I think. And then I was like, yeah, it's the same old, same old. Why don't I have background music? What is that? Oh, because it was not on. There we go. A little bit softer. Same, yeah. It's just like I don't know. I think maybe Modern Warfare 2. I think I bought that one too, but I think I played 10 minutes and I was like there were a lot of cheaters in there. Like you will spawn in a location and they're already throwing everything at you and like yeah okay. Goodbye Call of Duty. Never seeing you again. And then I went all to no that's not true. I was always an adventure kind of type of like gamer, so you love Modern Warfare 2 and 3, especially the the Spec Ops, what is it called? Like the what is it? The Black Ops, you mean? I've never played Modern Warfare 3. I have two. I have Modern Warfare 2, but I really played that like for an hour at max. Like, but there was so many cheaters in. I remember there was a map with a plane. There was a map with a plane, and every time when you spawn, they like you got killed right instantly. Like you didn't have a chance to like to get away from your spawn location. The special the special missions in the game. It wasn't multiplayer. Oh, okay, okay, yeah. The single players are always good. Yeah, but Modern Warfare 2 did which one didn't had single player? Was that 3 or 2? I think there was like one edition where they stopped doing that, and then everybody getting mad, so they redo it again in the later versions. Or was that later on? I think maybe that was later on. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not really a Call of Duty fan, so. Yeah, that's how shooters are. Spawn and die. Yeah. Hey, Miss 00001. How are you? I'm doing great, but how are you? That's the question. Like, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, you get sniped from a place you can't even see. Oh yeah, snipers, great. I'm not going to lie, but like I was you're probably going to hate me for this, so when I'm not going to say it now. But like I was one of those people in Modern Warfare 1 was that like the first one. I was the camper. I had like I had like a lot of kills always. I was always sneaky, like somewhere in a corner or something. I mean, that's what you do in the war, right? You're not going to run in the war like as a chicken without a hat. You want to survive, right? But I didn't do that after anymore. I did that with a friend of mine back then, and we had a lot of laughs. So I think that's important. But I'm definitely not a camper. But I know people hate campers. And they're like, it's fine. I'm the Leo Jenkins type of player. Yeah, I mean it depends. Like the map. Can you remember the map with? You're good. Oh, that's great to hear, miss. I'm glad you're doing good. I hope you have a great Saturday. It's like, do you remember the map with all the what is it called, the containers? That was like one of my favorite locations because it was so quick and you can't like really. There's no place to hide or no place to camp or anything. It's just like go as a that was like really one of my favorite maps because like it's really quick and fast. Like that was really one of my favorite maps, and that one was not really like not cheated so much. Okay. You actually with a shotgun, grenades, and assault rifle? Really? I think I'm good with like I think I'm more of like a sniper rifle type of person. I am that type. I am the sneaky one. I'm like in the distance. That's always why I play classes with bows and arrows because I really love like, or like magic or something like that. I really love like from attacking from a distance, or like I also like maybe close combat, but then it needs to be like a samurai sword or something like that. Like it needs to be like a quick combat, like it depends with me. It depends on my mood. Maybe I want to say like, do you have suggestions what I can create? But but it's my game, so I should be the one that like need to say that for myself. I really need to get some inspirations. I don't know. What is what can we do? Maybe in I mean, you can still put like suggestions, of course, but you always play mages. I like slinging fireballs and lightning storms all over the place, right? That's so cool. I love that too. I do that in Final Fantasy always. Like, I'm not lately not anymore, but like I was like a few years ago. I was always Black Mage, and Black Mage has like a lot of like fireballs and stuff like that. That's really cool. Like you're soaking everybody in your blast of fire. Like and it's always a great feeling when you're like without the sound going all boom like. I love it. I don't play Black Mage anymore. I don't know why. I think it's more because of like I don't know. I like also mobility. Like I need to also walk around, and with Black Mage you had to stand still a lot. So I'm now playing more of like range classes, like gunner with a machine gun or with stuff like that. But I really maybe should like play Black Mage again. It's fun. Shooting fireballs. It's fun. Okay. Let me see. If you have suggestions, like something Japanese, and you want to see me create that, just put that in the chat. I'm also looking for myself what I can make. It's like it's it was a very spontaneously stream today. Maybe we can do like I always like put like every week a sculpting video online. Maybe we can do this one as a special stream sculpting version that I'll put on YouTube. It might help to play your game a little bit to get inspiration. That's true. Although my game is not finished, I have not really any. I have not really anything to. But I'm not sure if you've seen it. Like I have like a tech demo where I mostly drop my creations to see how it runs. So let me see. I'm not sure if you have seen it. If you have seen the trailer, you probably have seen it. Which one is it? This one. But this is not going to be any level in the game. Maybe one is almost looking close to it. But this is more like a tech demo for me. Like the lighting is not correct. Of course, the puppet is not correct. But this is just like for me like a tech demo. Not sure you've seen Aria. I've seen your stuff before though. Yeah, this is like one of like my biggest projects that I'm working on. I did release the teaser trailer or at least with last year with Dreamscom. It was on YouTube for Mini Molecule as well. I'm not really sure if I already should have done the teaser because like my game is far from finished. Like I really want to have like a good polished and to like finish to. I'm not going to release a demo. I'm not going to release a trial or something. I really want to have like a full game from the beginning to the end. And that takes time, and I'm only alone, so so it takes extra time for me. But this is like mostly just like a tech demo, just like to see how creations are looking in my game. But this is everything I have, and here's my boot that I I added randomly. I don't know why. I do know because like I put that in my teaser trailer. But this is Aria. This is like what you kind of can expect a little bit. It's going to be side-scrolling. A blacksmith shop. That will be cool, actually. It's going to be like I'm not going to do like a full RPG game because that I think if once I have finished that maybe Dreams is gone or I hope not, but I'm doing like what I'm trying to do is more like a light RPG. So you do have a little bit of interactions with people in the world where you can talk to and give different options, answers, and stuff like that. But can you try split screen spar? Split screen spar. Is that on Dreams? You mean? Is that what you mean? Like if you want me to play something, you can always redeem it. Like I have like it should. Did I activate it? I'm not sure if I activate. Wait 1 sec. Yeah, if you want me to play something, some of your stuff, you can redeem it on my stream. And then type the link to your game or the title of your game. Then I will search it. And look, like it's also like going like dark and night, like it's like the lamps are going on. You see like flies, like I love like putting like little details in here. Also, onsens are popular in Japan. Onsens? What was onsens again? Let me check. What was that again? Oh! Oh yeah! I do have that. I have that kinda. It is kinda in my Let It Snow jam. That was actually my an onsen. Yeah, that's very popular in Japan. That's very true. Would be cool to make a level, but not like an interactable, but like more of like a background. That would be cool. That's a really cool idea. This one. I'm just going to save this in my list. Very cool idea. Like I do have a sort of like it's not really like an onsen, but I do really have something like this. Area assets, environmental. I think I put it on outdoors. Yeah. This is more like a hot spring. But like yeah. But an onsen is more like often it's outside. Yeah, very cool idea. I'm going to keep this in mind. Yeah, I think as background. Yeah, that's a really cool as background. You remember the jam? Yeah, it's like it was funny because it was not an intention to do it for the jam. I just wanted to make something for like with a hot tub. And and it kind of got out of control, and I saw that the community jam was going on as well at the same time. with Let It Snow. So like, yeah, why not? I'm just going to make a mountain with like with like a house and stuff like where you can interact. But I didn't have the time to do much inside. Like even though it was a month long, but a month long is for me is like a few days. So yeah, outdoor. Yeah, I'm thinking like I think it's really cool to have like something like that in the background eventually happening. That would be really cool. It's just that like yeah. Um but an onsen is a definitely really great idea. I already saw a few pictures that is very gorgeous. So I think I'm going to like use that as a reference. Um, there's like lights on the side and everything. That's very beautiful. One sec, I need to before I forget this. Need to put it in my keep. Google Keep. Google Keep. I always write my notes on there, like if I like I also the funny thing is I'm not going to show you this, but I also have like a lot of NPC names already. Like I also have the story a little bit written, not fully yet, but I'm not really sure if I'm doing it voiced over or not. I think I may be doing only the intro a little bit with like voiceover, with someone for like someone doing that, and then the rest is probably just like old RPG kind of style where you're like, huh, what, huh, like that kind of stuff. So and then you have to read, or skip it if you don't want to read. I always leave the options to the people. Take note. Assets. Aria, assets. To-do list. To-do list. I really need to write it down. I'm definitely going to forget it otherwise. Onsen. And then like outdoors. Is it like, is it sort of like hot spring? Like it's like hot spring, right? Like outdoors hot spring. Japanese outdoor hot spring. Okay, outdoors hot spring. It's on my to-do list. There you go. Oof. Cannot forget it anymore. You also fishing village as background. Ooh. Maybe you can create that one today. Like not like a fishing village, but like something with like fishing related. Like with fish nets. I definitely want to create that. I'm not sure how long it will take me, but now I'm getting good a feel for your background. Yeah, you're putting great ideas. Like don't put too much, otherwise I have to pay you. Like don't do that. Like otherwise, I mean like I can credit you like more ideas also by these and tanks. That I can do for sure. I mean, this is going to be funny, right? Like, it's because like I'm making this game alone, and like, what am I going to do with the end credits? Am I going to do something like we always did on school, like music by Jekta, audio by Jekta, voiceover by Jekta, sculptures by Jekta, and post credits by Jekta. Post productions by Jekta. I maybe I need some collaborations eventually to get a little bit rid of that one name creation, or not put any credits. That is also an idea. I don't know. It's all free, buddy. Oh, nah. At least what I can do is like put you on the credit list. You know what? You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to write it down. If that's okay with you, if I can like put you on my credit list, if you agree with that. If you don't want that, that's also fine. But I can like note it down. You love coming up with ideas. If you really want to, that's fine. But this is all you, so you're not necessary. The least I can do is put you in the credit list. Or maybe not. Like maybe it's my game is going to be crappy, like, and you don't want to be associate. Maybe you don't want to be associated with the crappy stuff that I make. I mean, that's something I can like see for sure. Like it's. Sorry, I do self spot a lot of times. So. Okay, I think that I think I'm going to do the fishing stuff. I think that's actually a really cool idea. Oh, got a new notification. Let me check real quick. Something. Oh, it's just a thumb up. Thank you. Okay. Start creating. Yeah, start creating, and okay. So we're going to make. I think I'm going to. I'm going to make like a plateau. Like if it's going to be in like in the fishing village, there will be like what's it called? What is it called again? Like I know it in my own language, but what is it called again? Like that stuff that's full above the water, the wood. Is that it has a name? I don't know. Like a pier or something like that. I'm not worried about credits, but I'm just going to keep shouting ideas. Okay, well then, I mean, ideas are always welcome. And you got me the fishing one, so I'm going to create that. In harbor? Yeah, it's like, is it like in harbor? Yeah, maybe it's called like in harbor. I don't know. Like it's like, it's like where you can walk over it, over the water, like with a lot of planks. Like this, and then like you walk over it, and there's water. Like this is water. I'm 100% sure there's a name for it. Like this is water, and then like this is like where you walk over. I know it in my language, but but I don't know what it is called in English. But I think maybe you know what I mean, right? I think you know maybe. If you know what I mean, then I'm already glad. Like my native language is Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands. So if you hear sometimes, especially when I get tired, if you hear sometimes like a Dutch word popping randomly, that means that I'm tired, or that I cannot like cool beans, or that I just can't find the right word for it. But I mean, but I think and speak almost English every day, so I barely speak my own language anymore. It's crazy. Wait, what am I doing? I need to do. Oh wait, no, mirror mode after. Oh, I can also do it like this. Oop. Delete that one. Okay, so first I'm going to make that wooden floating thing above the water. I will just call it like that. I don't know what it's called. I'll search it up someday. But couldn't you tell where I was from? Like, do you? I must have a certain accent, right? A certain accent that you can't figure out from where it is. This should be cool. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to create, right? Like, I'm only not sure. I need to get a puppet in here to see the how big I need to make it. Not that kind of puppet, because we're going to play as a smaller character. Okay, so this is way too small. That's a little bit too small. Then we need to be a little bit broader. I can tell you have an accent, but I couldn't place. Yeah, I get that a lot. Like, a lot of people have that. I can tell what you want. Okay, that's good. Then I'm happy. That's all what I. As long we have the same communication, then it's fine with me. Is this broad enough? Like, is this wide enough? It's going to be side-scrolling anyway, so you can't like move to like on the platform, so you cannot fall off. At least not from the sides. I'm not really sure if I go for like I'm not really want to do like platformer game, but I really want to do like you have sometimes you need to jump and climb over rocks and stuff like that. I teased that in my teaser last year. There was like an end teaser after the logo, and I teased that you could climb. It's really hard to see, but like it was an end tease that you had to climb stuff. So. But I think this is wide enough, right? Yeah. Mostly they're not so so wide. Okay. I'm not going to make it too large because otherwise wait. Maybe it's smarter to make them a little smaller so I can copy them and paste them next to each other. Then we can like also do this if you need to. Yep. Good idea, Jack. I always try to make everything in one sculpt as well, because reasons. That's a little bit too thick. I mean, are they? Yeah, they are completely like this, because they are holding together on another. Hey, Gizmo! Whoa, that's a long time. I have to see you back streaming Dreams? Yeah. It's been a while. It's really been a while. It's like, it's also because like, I tested another game, like Final Fantasy, because like I have a new computer and everything, and I want to test my audio and stuff like that, so... and I hope that my stream is also good now, because I still had issues, but this is way too thick. But how are you doing, Gizmo? It's really been a long time. Oh. I mean, it's going to be from a distance, like this, maybe? Any new developments in Dreams as well? Have you been creating something? I haven't really checked much, to be honest, if I have to be fair. I do check streams sometimes for Minimal Q. Even though I'm really silent in the chat, I'm not talking. The sounds and streams are good? Okay, that is really good. That's all. I'm still like talking to like a normal mic, but I am considering to maybe buy a professional mic, so I get like a radio voice, like what Kel Jones has, like something like that. Oh, wrong way. Uh, seems about right, I guess. Okay. And then we need to hold them all together. Just gonna place it down, it's not correct yet. But... You're doing good. Haven't published anything lately. I've been playing other games as well. You never played Final Fantasy game? Oh, did you know that you can play Final Fantasy 14 for free? Up to level 60 with heavily with the award claimed expansion Heaven Sword up to level 60, blah blah blah. You can actually play it for free. Even though they had to remove the game from the store because it was so popular last month. It was crazy. How's Aria processing? It was a little bit on hold, if I have to be honest, but I am continuing sculpting again. This is like a stream dedicated to that. And Peas and Tanks had some like inspiration throwing in the chat, and we're going to make like a fishing village sort of, with a thing I cannot name it in English, but but it's like a wooden stuff floating above the of the water, so that way you can walk on. So yeah, we're going to make that. But to be honest, like Aria has been a little bit on the hold. I had like a lot of stuff going on in real life. So, but I'm up and running again. So I hope we going to make some progress. But once I have all the assets, I can build worlds together with that really quickly. So the more assets, the faster I can get eventually. But there are still some categories that I need to tackle myself, like music, like more like audio design and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so I'm thinking, shall I make like is this too thick? I don't know, or is it? Let me see. I think we might maybe go to a little bit like so, because they are not like this. A little bit. That's better. And if I am correct, I can now put this next to each other. There you go. The only thing I need to change is also the cut in the end, so we can have a really smooth continuation. Just on 16. Is it like this? I don't know. Okay, that's a little bit too far. Fishing village, that sounded a good idea. Yeah, well, thanks to Peas and Tanks. And he threw that out of his mind. But I think that's a really good idea. Yeah. But if you have you really not played any Final Fantasy games? Like not any Final Fantasy games? I mean, not all Final Fantasy games are great though. To be honest, like I have to be honest. Not all of them are super great. But there are like some Final Fantasy ones that are really cool. I kind of want to fix this first before I'm going to continue, because I really want to. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. So now I can just like keep continuing doing this. I probably also need to do it on the other side. Or not? No, of course not. No, of course not. Because that... No, never mind. I'm stupid. Okay. Let's paint. And then like we can maybe make different versions of it. So one with a corner and stuff like that. Never. Never. I know there was one free not long ago, PlayStation Plus. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy remake. If you want to get into Final Fantasy, then remake is definitely the first one you should you should try. Like the remake is so awesome. I mean, like I've not really played like the original from that one, but the remake, oof, what a game. It's only sad that it takes so long for them to to release part 2 and also eventually part 3. But yeah, that's always a little bit like the downside with Final Fantasy games. It takes forever for them to make that game. Because you know how Japanese people are, they are perfectionists, and that can take and that can take time. And it's also sometimes a downfall for them as well, because sometimes they don't see. Oh, what am I doing? But I'm a bit. Are you like? Do you like games with story? Do you like storytelling games? Like a good story? Like I mean, like most Final Fantasy games has a good story, but like some Final Fantasy games are a little bit like, uh, yeah, like a little bit dull in the storytelling. But there are a few that has a really good story, and it will make you cry for sure. I'm not sure if I should do this. Because if I do this, that means that if we're going to... shall I just put it in the center, maybe? Maybe like this. So we have a better... yeah. I think that's smarter. You do like good games with a good story? What can I mean, like, Remake does have a good story, but it can be maybe also a little bit like, because there are some references maybe to... Well, no, I think I think a remake is something that you can get into. It's not too long. It's like you don't have to play like thousands of hours. um, I think the remake is maybe a good one to start with. I would say Final Fantasy 14, but that's an MMO. That's an online game, and I'm not sure if you want to do that. But if I have to be honest, the best storytelling in Final Fantasy is the online version. That's the it. I don't know. Like the last expansion from the story arc has been released, and it's been like a 10-year-long storytelling. Now finally coming to a conclusion. And man, you're going for an emotional ride. But like it's a really like a good story. I think that like Final Fantasy 14 has the best story in all Final Fantasy games. But I'm a little bit biased because like, yeah, I play the game a lot as well, so. Okay, why is this one not... is it me or... maybe it's... no, that looks fine. But yeah, the only thing with Final Fantasy games is that you always like... yeah, You play like at least 30 hours, 40 hours to finish the story. Like there's a lot of content in there. And especially of course the online version. Like the online version has a lot of like quest lines. Even though you can skip them all, like you can of course like only focus on the main story, but so much more, like it's crazy. I'm not really happy with the I'm not sure if I should keep it like this or not. I don't know why they're doing it like this. Why is that? Because like they're not really great on grid. I think they're not really great on grid. I just recentered them, and that was the issue, I think. I can keep it like this, but then okay. What is going on here? Why is that not the same? Need to flip it around. I do not know. I know it's like something you're never going to see if you're going to play the game, but I want to have it correct right away, so I don't have to worry about it for later. Oh well, I think it's not noticeable. I should not like pay much time on this. Ah, it looks okay. Now we can paint. Let me first look how it looks with if we clone it together. How does it look if we flip it on the side? Okay, that's what I thought. That's not really on the grid. We can do two things. We can make it a little wider, so we can easily place it also on the side as well. Or we make a separate one and think. Also, I see something else I need to do, because like this one is not closing with the other one. Now they should. Yep. Nope. The center not. Do, 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 do. Okay. And then we only need to make them a little bit like. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Flip it on the right. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so now we only need to what did I say? Like make them wider. A little bit thirsty though. Do, 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 do. Okay. I don't know like what to what I can do with this. What do you guys think? Leave it like this or not? And then we just like put it like in lower grid, finer grid, so I can do it like this. Then we kind of got rid of it. That's something we can do. Yeah, I think I will do that. Then we only need to like, normally I always like when everything is like in one grid always, but I think just like put it on finer grid, then we are at least good. So I don't need to change much of this. Okay. Jacked up paint. Let's get us in color. We need a little bit like brownish. Light brown. And a little bit darker. Okay. Release the grid snap, also changing to square. I'll first do like the base color, what I always do in my sculptures. And then we're going to like put detail on that. And with detail, I will have another technique that I've been using lately. That is this technique. We need surface snap and opacity around here or so. We're going to paint ourselves some softly wooden structure. I'm really going to put like studio light on, otherwise I'm not seeing what I'm doing. I know there are like many different techniques to do this, but for me this is always like the most efficiently way and the most cheapest way to do. At least there's probably a lot of other cheaper ways to do this. Oh. I always found this one the best one. Let's do the bottom first. The only problem is I might stick out. I have another idea. Clone, live clone. I need live clone. Oh. Of course, we need to tweak eventually a little bit later on in the sculpt itself. I'm not doing it fully in the center because like I want to do like without mirror modes, otherwise it's going to look really weird. off, and then we're doing the middle one. And the reason why I'm also doing the bottom is maybe because like, and there will be maybe a scenario where things are not so clean looking and maybe looking really like upside down, or maybe there's a storm happening, or I don't know. Okay, now we need to put mirror on again. Hide the mirror. It's always funny how the camera always moves the direction that I don't want. This is always the favorite part of everything. Painting. Like sculpting is fun, but but painting them, that's the most enjoyable thing to do. Okay, let me put mirror mode off again. Alright. And I'm gonna do the other side. Working on gameplay mechanics is your favorite part? If I was as good with that, that could be also it. I mean, I'm not that great. That's going to be so much a bottleneck for me in this game. But like mechanics, like making mechanics, if I was like very good with that, I think that would be my favorite part as well. Because that's where like the whole game is going to be coming alive. Like you can make stills and everything, or like if there's no movement in your game, it looks very weird. Like if you don't have, do I have mirror mode on here? But if you're really good at making mechanics, then I can understand why that is, because that's basically the heartbeat of your game. Like if you're going to make a game and you don't have any mechanics, like then it's going to be just like an empty shell with assets inside. There's so much that I still need to learn in especially in Dreams. Is that like there's so many stuff that I still need to tackle. Like music I still need to tackle. Like gameplay mechanics I need to tackle. Making enemies, making people. There's so many stuff that I need to like tackle myself. Like it's but hey, it's a learning curve. Like if it comes to like just like scenery, I can do that. Like it's no big deal for me. Like I love world building. Like world building is for me the most, beside painting, the most enjoyable thing ever. World building. But but like yeah. Music is your worst, logic is your strength. You're better at gameplay mechanics than art. Yeah, I think that the thing is with like, and like that's why like you always need other people, because like you cannot be good at anything. I mean it can be, but there was always being part where yeah, it's a little bit less in your skill, right? And I have completely the other way around. Like I'm not saying that I'm good at art though. I'm not that good, but like better than I am with with mechanics, gameplay mechanics. It's like I'm not that great. It's if I remove this clone that I did, will that keep me Will that save this? Yeah, it will. Oh, thank goodness. Ah, nice. Okay, I don't need to do the top here, and then we're done. Is mirror mode on? No. Mirror mode. And then we only need to... maybe I'm going to do extra details on the... But world design... I have that with world design. Like, I love doing world design in Dreams, or in general, basically. I love that so much. Like putting things in the distance, right? Like I always love to, and this is definitely going to happen in Aria. Like, like you're going to get some pieces, like something you're seeing in the distance, and you wonder, like, can I go there? That's something that I want to do. Like, like giving the person the feeling that there is something in the distance that you maybe can get there or not, like, or at least giving the feeling that you can get there. I've gotten better at world building, but still need to get better. At least I've gone beyond just trees and rocks and water for the world. Hey, that's a start. Trees. I'm still terrible at making trees, to be honest. Like it's not the trees itself, but the leaves on it. I really do not know a good solution that is cheap for the engine, for the Dreams engine. I still have no idea. Like I still cannot do it. Like like it's, but hey, that's good. Like if you're already past that, that's a really good sign. I mean, you can always learn everything, right? Like you always have like people always have a learning curve. Whoa, was that thunder? No, there's a car coming by. Motor. That's a motor. I for a second I thought it was thunder outside. But like, yeah. But I started with making grass when I first had Dreams. The first thing that I made was a mountain and grass. I put it in the archive because I don't want people see it anymore. I like it was very ugly. But that was like the first thing I did in Dreams. And I made an alien hat. And a dragon hat. That's all I did. Okay. Think I'm sort of done. Maybe the sides as well. Don't forget to do the sides. Am I in mirror mode again? Yeah. And then I need to tweak the sculpture itself. And also, I'm not sure if I'm going to put more detail, like bump effect or anything. Maybe I'll do that, but I don't know. Okay, done. Maybe on the inside here as well. It seems easier to come up with ideas for other people's stuff than my own. I can relate to that. Because like if it's your own creation, like because like you need to think differently, right? Or you need to like, okay, what do I need to like? And if it's someone else, like I think I can relate to that. I just stamped some S in Dreamiverse and then added in my fit needs. I did that with the forest one. I cannot take credits for that because like most of the forest one was from only what you said, like you tweak it, and that's fine. I mean, that's what Dreamiverse is about. Like I had some people that were saying that like, yeah, but it's not yourself. You did not make it yourself, and I'm like, yeah, who cares? That's Dreams. Dreams is all about like creating assets so other people can. I make assets so other people can use it, and it makes me happy that I see sometimes creations like, hey, that's like, hey, that's my wall, and I use that in a very fun way. So, and spoiler alert, if Aria is out, all my assets that I ever made for Aria, I will release it eventually because I want to give that eventually to the community. but not before the game is out. But but eventually I will. Like eventually I will release all the assets that I did like a few here and there because of like Dreamscom. I already had I already had to release some assets here and there, but like most of the assets I will like eventually release. Because I think that like creativity should not be locked behind the paywall. Even though it's not a paywall, but like behind, I don't know. It should be for it should be for everyone, I think. Especially Dreams. I think that Dreams is like a very good platform to learn and improve yourself with other people ideas. Alright. But yeah, that's a spoiler alert. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but I will do it. I promised that already in the past. And I will keep that promise. Okay. I might change maybe... Before I'm doing this, I'm going to put my own lighting in here. Lights and fire. No, that's assets. I mean the... where is it? What? What? Where did I put it? Environmental? Huh? Here maybe? Oh, here. In the global settings is the one. Yeah. This is the most of the light that you're going to expect in Aria. Not always, because like it's not going to be always daytime. I'm thinking if I should do no reflection, 88 maybe. Not too much waxiness. Should I do bump effect on this? To give it more alive? Let's do that. Let's first see how much graphics this cost. 4 is too much. That's a little bit too much. Let's bring that to 1, if possible. Or 2 is also fine. 1%, there we go. And it still looks okay from a distance, because you're not going to get any closer, mostly. What effect? Do you know bump effect? Like I will show you what I mean. I think I'm going to do it, but maybe save it first. How do we do that again? I wanna... Wait, quick element, sculpture. Okay, now it's fun. What is this called? I will keep it Oriental because that's for my searching better. But Oriental floating wood. Is it? I have no idea what it's called. Floating wood walking thing. I will call it floating walk thing. Whatever. I need to search. I need to search it on Google. I have no idea what it's called. Like it's. I will come back to that later, but I need to say this. Yeah. Okay. I will show you what I mean with like. I think floating walk thing is a technical term. I have no idea what it's called. It's so crazy. Okay. I will show you what I mean with bumping. I need to see what kind of technique I'm going to use for this. Maybe just the old school one. The old school one that everyone is doing. Not with paint though. I need to smear. Twist it like you mean it. And also make it... oh no, it's already in the... I'm not sure if this is going to like do much, but I was talking about this. Give the wood a little bit more alive. And maybe also a little bit broken on the edges and stuff like that. That's like wood is never like too round and too square and everything like that. But this is what I meant. And also doing like the sides so like that it's not going to be like so perfectly straight. Just so that like it fits in the world eventually. A floating dock! Yes! Oh my god, Gizmo to the rescue! I think that is it. I think that I think that is the name. Yeah, I think that's the one. Of course it's a dock. Yes, that's what I meant. Is it actually called a floating dock? Like, but wow, how the answer was so easy. And yet I had so much struggle to get the answer. I'm not really great at like wood texturing. I don't know. I know people like drink water and of course Johnny Beach is king of the wood makings. Oh, I need to disable mirror here. Otherwise it's going to look very weird. So you have now a little bit of structure happening. Forever, if I release the sculpt, for people that want to use it for a close-up. I'm also doing the sides here. Mirror mode, of course. Yours has a base that touches the bottom, so technically it should just be a dock, I guess. Okay. I will rename it to that. I think it makes perfectly sense now that I'm hearing it. Like it's I'm 100% sure that is the correct way to say it. A floating dock. I think I couldn't like really find the word dock like. I think if I want to keep it more authentic, maybe I also want. Oh, what am I doing? I'm already doing that to mirror. It's just that making some that the wood is really like rotten because like it's been standing in the water for a very long time. So I'm just going to add that as well. Alright, I don't really need to do the bottom. Because I don't want to go extend the 2% or the 1%, I mean. Okay. So, and now we're just like doing the sides, and that I will just do with a cone. Maybe not with serve snap on though. Dee, 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 dee. Do, 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 do. Now it looks more like natural, right? Like now it's not like it's so straight anymore. I'll need to do that in the center as well. Maybe there's some big cutting here. Alright. Now the other side. Hey, Afro Man for Peace! Good day. Good Saturday as well. I hope you're doing great. How are you doing? That was a lot of, like, questions, but... I hope you have, I hope you're doing well. It's been a while. I'm sorry for that. But life happens. I think I maybe do another painting over it. To be fair, there's a little bit too much. And mirror mode off, so we can do the center. Okay, and then we also need to do the side pulls as well, like the whatever it's called. And because it's a little bit like older, so I'm just going to make it like it's a little bit rotten. Let's say this week was it a good one? Oh man, sorry to hear that. I hope you will get a better week in return. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do like an extra other painting over it. I also need to be careful not to do too much on it. I mean, it's just in one simple asset. Okay. I think so far. Probably need to adjust the colors a little bit. Maybe overpainting more. I don't know. Like it needs to be older wood stuff. Did you hear a shark? That could be. Hey, wait a minute. Where's Sharky all the time? Where's Sharky? There he is. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about Sharky. I'm so sorry. He's there. You heard it correct. All the time I forgot to put Sharky on. Remember me? Oh boy, he going to he going to play it on that game now? Servius Ogotkin. I do think I do know remember you. But I'm definitely sorry I don't. Like I'm meeting so many people. But I do maybe recognize you. I think we had the same conversation once, right? I think you were. I remember. Maybe it was not you, but I remember we had like once like, yeah, I do remember, and then like. I was wondering about that. I totally forgot Sharky. How can I forget Sharky? Like, that's really cruel of me. How could I forget him? Okay, I think we can remove this. I'm not really happy with the color though. I'm not happy with that. Needs to look a little bit like old looking. Not really sure if this is too shiny still. We do 90%. I mean, it does need to reflect a little bit, but not too much. I met you on your previous stream when when it was ending, or at least I think it might have been the previous one. I just remember it was all okay. It could be. I'm so sorry if I don't. I do remember like it was something like that, but it depends if it's wet. That's true. Like if it's going to rain, and that's going to happen in my game, but then I need to keyframe it. If it's going to rain, then it's going to be like this, sort of like I think like 25% or something. Like now it's like all wet and level it up. But that's going to be in my game settings eventually. But that's definitely true. And now we can just like keep putting it all together and make one big dog. I finally know the word. Nice. I think I'm going to like place it in. I'm not really sure if it's so smart with all the cuttings in those things, but if you do going to see some repeationist in or what I also can do is just like, does it work as well? No, because it's not on grid then anymore. Yikes. Oh well, doesn't matter. How have you been anyway? I'm doing I'm doing great. I'm really doing great. I know it's been a long time I've been streaming dreams, and apologies for that. But life happens. How are you doing, by the way? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing good as well. Just going to put this a little bit less. Like this is way too much. Obvious. You've just been doing Storm a bit more. Oh! I remember who you are! I remember! I remember! Do you remember? I remember! I remember too! You were the one from the Final Fantasy stream the last time. I remember! It just like the door in my mind just went open. And, like, there was like a dude that was sleeping in there. And he finally awake. Like so one of my brain door just opened. I remember you now. Yes, like You've been doing Stormblood? Oh, that's so cool. You were the one that like with the Rotgar, right? You're the Rotgar one. I remember. I have great memory. Sometimes I have really great memory. It's sometimes very scary. Was it? I swear it was Dreams with Veins. No, yeah, we. Yeah, see, Rotgar. See, I know. Yeah, because like I was playing Dreams. Oh no, I was doing we were talking about Final Fantasy. That was it. We were talking about Final Fantasy, and I think I was showing some like Final Fantasy related inspirations in my creations. And it's like, yeah, I remember now. Holy shit, that's like 2 months ago. I can still remember that. That's what people do to my brain sometimes. But it's locked, so sometimes it needs to be knocked on the door on me, because like I do have like photographic memory. Sadly, it can be convenient, but but sometimes it's locked behind the door. So I sometimes need to have a little bit of a trigger to to get like that in my head again. Harvest Ward a pain? A pain? I think Harvest Ward is like the most like the critically acclaimed expansion from. Like, did you dislike it? Like, did you not really like Harvest Ward? Because I think that Harvest Ward was like maybe one of my favorite, not my favorite, but like one of the. Harvest Ward is okay. Sorry, Stormblood. I do also. I know that a lot of people don't like Stormblood, but I mean it's Japanese, so obviously I'm going to like it. But I found the story so boring. What? I think you're one of the few that actually said that to have this one. I'm enjoying Stormblood much more. Oh wow. Okay. So you're okay. That's that you don't hear often. Like mostly people always say that like Harvest Ward is one of the best expansion. Like it's like I think that Stormblood. The thing is with Stormblood is that like of course I'm not going to say anything about the story because I know that you're still on it. But like I do like it, and especially because like it's more the environmental that I like more as well. Like you have, I'm not really sure how far you are in Stormblood, but there are some locations that I'm really huge fan of. Like I found the Frontiers are basically, yeah, they are. They are. I mean, the Empire in Around Reborn, like Gaius from Bell's Har. That's just like that's basically like Dark Fate or something like that. So that's like, yeah, that's true. Like it's a very inspirational on the real world maybe. You're heading for breakfast? Let's have a nice meal. Peace and thanks. Thank you so much. Well, we finished the sculpt, so that's that's a good thing, right? In less than 2 hours, I'm really proud of myself. That's never happened before. I think in my stream, that I just actually finished the sculpt in one stream. Like, I think that never happened in my entire stream career. Okay, but like it's but thank you so much for dropping by hopping by. All right, I'm going to check this in. The sculpts look good. Oh, thanks, man. That I appreciate that. I will put it in this scene because this is actually my latest test world. I can still put it in the other one, but this is going to be with the correct colors and everything. So it will be somewhere like not here, but like just check the colors a little bit. And it's 1%, so that's also pretty cool. It always feels so nice when you can just like clone so quickly. Like it's Just one little sculpt and then that's it. Can put one on the side. The only thing that I have to do manually is put it on a finer one to get the sides. And then we have a little bit of a duck. I really should rename it to duck before before I forget that again. There we go. Nice. So we can walk on that as well. It's funny that you can get the Imperial's anthem as the aggression roll. Yeah, that's cool. Like I do know the song. Da 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 da. Oh no, that is that's Stormblood. Wait, no, that's not it. Huh? How went the Imperial song again? I don't know. I need to hear it again. I was gonna try a new project on Dreams, but then I realized I wouldn't be able to do it with my skill level. I mean, just try, and like try with the most simple things. Like I think that everyone is doing that. Like I also did that. Like just start with making maybe grass, like or rocks. Or try to make trees, and just practice a little bit, and then like go step by step and check other people's creations, or like use like things like from the Dreamweaverse, and then check your check how they did certain things, and then like that's a really good, or check tutorials. You can definitely do it eventually. But yeah, it takes a little bit of like it's a big learning curve in Dreams. Like I think it's like like creating is maybe like it's how you say it, like it's hard to learn but easy to master. I think that's maybe the correct way to say it in Dreams. Like like normally it's like it's easy to learn and hard to master, but I think it's the other way around in Dreams. Cloud Chuko Land music video. I see your this is something I changed my Streamlabs, so now I can see my mini feed. So if you redeemed something on my stream, like in sub or dream creation, I can see it now in my mini feeds on my screen. So I can never not see it anymore. I have it. So I see your redemption. Oh wait, huh? That's not redemption. Oh wait, never mind. I take my words back. But no, huh? Why is it not working anymore? Wait, I do see it in the stream. I see your redemption, but why is it not in my mini feed anymore? What? Oh, Streamlabs, you're funny. I only see it from a month ago. Oh well, but I still see it in the thread. So I still saw it. That's the important thing. Jackta, I want you to do the Dark Souls style game. I want to do the Dark Souls style game based on the character I made in the past, but then it's difficult because I can't animate well. I can't sculpt, and I'm mediocre. It sounds like me. Like it's no, it's just like I would like the thing is with like if you want to create in Dreams, never go like straight into the hardest project ever. It's the thing is like I made the same mistake. I jumped straight into and that's where my character Shark is coming from, not from Final Fantasy, but actually it's a game. Although even though it was from a community jam, but I was going straight into that, and then I realized, okay, this is maybe a little bit too much of my knowledge still, and so I went back to the drawing table and just put all that away and just start to create assets for myself and see what I can improve and stuff like that. So if you want to like do something like a Dark Souls style themed game, I would say just like start with the assets, or if you want to like do something for the community, like if you want to like use community creations, you can also check like the Dreamweaverse. If you really do not want to sculpt yourself, I mean, you can just like go into the Dreamweaverse, and there's 100% sure there's something that fits your style. But if you want to create something yourself, I would just say like keep practicing. And never go straight into one of the biggest projects. Like, don't do that, because like you get overwhelmed and maybe outburned yourself and stuff like that. Like, you don't want to do that. I've been on that road. I had that with Sharky. I had that with I think what was my first creation that I did? Oh yeah, I remember. I I had like a museum, and I had an idea to make like a puzzle game, like a Myst type of game, where like people can like puzzle. But Jack that doesn't know any logics. Like, I mean, like I do know logics, but not like that like great of logic. So so that whole idea, that just I couldn't do it because like my knowledge is not that far yet. So yeah, but like and now I'm just going to, now I know a little bit more, and mostly with sculpting. And so what I'm now going to do is just like I build one project, and that's called Aria, and it's going to be an adventure. But first I will do just all the assets. So once I have the world buildings and all the assets in the game, then I'm going to do the next step and try to see if I can tackle some logic. So always do step by step instead of going for the straight big type of project. Or look on the Dreamweaverse. That's also a really great way to learn, by the way. You can really make great creations with community assets. So, that being said, it's Redemption. I just posted the title without the link. Yeah, but like, I have like, I don't know why. I see it in my chat, but I don't see it in my mini feed. And I set up like Streamlabs just like this, so I could easily see if someone just like put like a Redemption on my stream. But for some reason, or maybe it's just that like the redemptions don't show up, and only the who followed me and stuff like that. Can I wait? Maybe can I wait? Filter. Oh, wait a minute. This mini feed is useless for me. This only shows like the latest followers and who rated me, and okay, never mind. Okay. Then I have to keep the chat in my site, because like I do see it in the chat, and I'm going to check it. Start with something small, like one small room with a kitchen window and a monster. Yes, like yeah, exactly what everyone's saying. Like that's how you start, and then go bigger, and then you're going to make like an open world adventure wanderer game. Like always start small and big. It's really weird if you put that out of context, but you know what I mean. Also, the backstory for the character is a bit dark, so I do not know if the Minimonkey gods will be fine with it. They will be fine. They're only probably not going to play it on stream. I think that's the like. I mean, there are creators like that make gory games. I think they even like put a Media Molecule sticker on it, but they don't show it on stream because their stream is family friendly. Unless it's maybe Halloween event-ish, then maybe they will do something here. But I think that blood and stuff like that it's not what they do. But they will not delete your content. It's just they don't show it to live on stream on their channel. That's the only difference. Because I know I know someone who makes really gory characters. Like really gory characters, and they just like liking the stuff. So but I don't think they ever showed his creations on stream. At least not the gory ones. My second level I've created was a whole Asian town. You know what I mean? This is what I've done. I know. Yeah. I was when I saw the um what was it? What was it? What's it called? With where you have to go under the ground and then you have the lever. Like the click on the lever and then the whole thing. Like that was really cool. I love that creation. I think maybe that's still one of my one of my favorites from you. Like it's because it's so gorgeous. Because like it reminded me of like uh back in the days like Myst type of games. But yeah, it's like once you're like starting. Okay, let me play your game. Like I'm stalling. Okay, what was it called? Cloud Cuckoo. Oh, it's a music video. You make music videos a lot lately. Is it in Dream? You also did the music the last time. You also did a music video with. Ooh, I see Cloud. That's cool. Freaking Cloud as pixel art. Okay, let me see. Clouds. What was it again? Cloud. The Cuckoo's Nest? What was it again? Clouds Chuko. Below. Land? Music video. Oh! I think I've seen this creation. Or not. No, it cannot be. I don't know. No, I don't think I've seen this. Don't look outside the window, it's a prime example for this! Yeah, that game is scary. Like... You should watch this Halloween? Oh man. Do I really? I do like Halloween. I'm just like, as long as it's not horror, I'm fine. I mean, like watching is fine. Playing is a different story. I like horror stuff, like horror movies. But if I have to play it, it's in the big nope. Looks good from him, as always. Hey Snipes! Welcome, welcome. We are just watching a music video, so try not to talk too much. But I hope you're doing well. This is beautiful. It's peaceful. Have you made like the music whole yourself? Like the whole music? Or just like the scenery from the music? I know that this is your style. It reminds me of Sea of Clouds. I want to play Final Fantasy again now. The music is from from Reiko. Oh, okay, okay. It's not horror, but you'll be confused? Oh god. This is... I see an airship. It's an airship. This is Final Fantasy, guys. I really want to play Final Fantasy now. Also, like the music. Really Final Fantasy. Whoa. Hello there. The performance takes a dip? I mean, it's I don't think it's like, I don't really see anything at the moment, but it's remixable. You been do good? Hope you're being cool as well. I've been doing great. I mean, that was cool, man. I have not really seen any dips. I mean, like if you mean on lower frame rate, I mean I'm used to that on my on my PlayStation, so so I don't really see that like a big of like and it's a music video, so so you can get away with it, I think, with a music video at least. Like a music video doesn't need to be 60 FPS. I'm so excited because I'm going to get Valve Index next week. Wait, is the you mean the handheld? Is that called Valve Index? You mean the handheld thing? Oh my god, I'm jealous. Do this Halloween. Oh, you redeemed. Okay. Oh, I think I've seen this. Is it with the puppets? With the pumping? This Halloween. Yeah, I've seen that one. I actually watched this on my stream. Yeah, see, I've played and thumbed it up. But I will do it again. I mean, you paid for it. You redeemed it. This one is really cool though. I love this one. I really like the sculptures as well. Like, it's a really good sculpture. Here we go. I really like the pumpkin sculpture. It's a really good sculpture. Like it's. Oh, that's the Valve Steam Deck. Oh, what is Valve Index? Your brother got the index with Lighthouse. What is an index, guys? I don't know what it is. It's February, but I mean, we had Halloween in February in Final Fantasy, so watching Halloween in February. Valve Index is VR? Oh! Oh, that's cool. Can you also use it on the PlayStation? It stays funny. I like it. But the pumpkin sculpture, that's top notch. Whoever created that, hats off. I don't have a hat, but if I would have a hat, I would put it off. It's only on PC? Oh, okay. I really want VR myself. I really want to recreate my forest in Dreams. But I need a VR for that. Okay. What? The characters, like the female characters, look a little bit like one of my glams in Final Fantasy. I have something like that in Final Fantasy as glam. I also have that like the Ada glam. It's over. It's over. No, I don't want to go. I said bounce. Nice. I love it. I cannot tamp it up because I already did, but like I love this song. Yeah, it's great. Like it's great. But this culture, I for some reason Did they really set MM pick here? Lol. Great. But I'm really like the sculptures are really cool. Also the characters behind here, by the way, the female. It really looks like one of my glams. I have something like that in Final Fantasy. I have like, it's called like the Ada outfit. I have like this, and like the hat like that. Like, I have something like that. It's cool. I have got the Vive Cosmos. Everybody's having VR. Oh man, I still need VR. The Index got better controller. One of my favorite lyrics from this is repurpose your yeah, it's a really funny video. I love it. I love this song. The video is really amazing. I agree. Did you know there's a Final Fantasy that replaces the werewolf ears with the lupin? Really? What? No way. Dreams. Hey! Wow, speaking of the devil. Speaking of the devil. Look who's here in the chat. Like, I was talking about you, even though I didn't say your name, but like we were talking about gory stuff, and I'm like, speaking of the devil in the chat, like that, like we were talking about that. There he is, the man himself. You aren't Reckley. You aren't that. To be honest, like it's you both have been like gone for a long time. I had only like 3 or 4 MM picks. Hard to get them. I only have 2 so far. Like it's really hard. Like, but I don't really release much because like I am mostly sculpting assets for my game. But I have only 2. I only have the forest one and the Shishidoshi. This one. I got MM pick with this one. I'm proud of that. I didn't die, bro. I think the most running for Roscars. Oh, well then I need to change to a Rodgar. I have not really tried Rodgar, to be honest. I did try Viera. I have not tried Rodgar yet. But I think the problem with me is that if I'm going to create a Rodgar, I think I will end up like Kimari. Because like Kimari is one of my favorites in 10, so so I probably will end up recreating him. But that happens a lot. That happens a lot. That we talking about you? Is that what's? No, we were talking about if like at least I not, but like Cerberus was talking about it. If gory stuff is allowed by Media Molecule, and it is allowed, but they're not going to show anything from it. I remember, did I show you the sculpture? Yeah, you did. Yeah, with yeah, you did that one. Yeah, I think that you did that with just before I end the stream. I was not expecting that he was talented like that. I didn't know even that he was like creating himself as well. That was really good. It was fun. Yeah, I can show it again on the stream. I mean, like I already have seen it last time. What was it called again? Was it an asset? I think it was an asset, right? Do you know the name? Oh, I can search it up again. I mean, I already have seen it in the stream, so. But people here in the chat want to see it as well. Do you know the name? Oh, it's private. Oh, okay, then you need to check the VOD back. I keep all my streams still on YouTube and everything, so then you have to check my stream back. It's there somewhere. Okay. But thank you so much for showing the video, both of you, by the way. Also at Halloween. I love the sculpture. Was that sculpture maybe Typhus? Typhus, was that your sculpture, by the way? With the Halloween? Now that you're here, Who made that pumpkin sculpture? Because like I think that that's still like I shared it before with you, I think. Yeah, but if it's like oh god, I can try to find it back, but I get like daily I get like people spamming me. So like, when was it? 2 months ago? I can try to scroll back. This will take a while. Oh, it doesn't go further than 2 weeks. So, or maybe in the old way. Wait, maybe we can do it in the old version. Let me see. The sculpt is called Jack. You can search it up. The pumpkin one, I mean. Oh, okay. So I'm curious who made that one. I'm just curious because I think it's a really good sculpt. Jack. Is it an asset or is it an just a playable? Oh, here, Jack the Pumpkin. A remix of Jack. So this is probably the original one. Let me see. Is it this person? Seeing the characters, I think it is. Yeah, here. Saturnur. I've never heard of this creator. That's a really cool sculpture. I really like this one. This is such a great sculpture. Oh my! He even has like, I did not even notice that. He even have like slime on his. Is that just sculpt? Where is that? Oh, is that flax? Oh no, it's flax. That's really cool. I love this sculpture. I'm glad I'm not like Minimolecule Associate. Otherwise, I don't know. That's really cool. I love the slime. Yeah, the slime is really cool. Like it's only sad that I cannot control the head. No. But that's really cool. I love the sculpture. Props. I will thumb this creator up and the creation.